Alright, I think I'm all set. There we go. Oh, whoopsie, I forgot to turn off this music. My bad, chat. Also, where's my background music? Why aren't you doing your background music thing? Okay, yeah. There we go. Hey, Nicolino. Hey, Xavier. Hey, Nobre. Hey, guys. Hey, how you guys all doing? Yeah. Oh, you're doing that weird thing where sometimes you just stop playing. I hate when you do that. Headshots for DS2, Loki? Never. Alright. Today I need shots of the Langdell art. What is with the lighting today? It's being weird and flashy. I've never had this happen before, Chad. It's super weird to see. That is so weird. I hope that doesn't persist as we go to other places. Something wrong with the shaders or something when I did that update to the graphics card the other day? I don't remember this happening yesterday or the day before. Oh well. You will play DS2, Loki, bro, whether you want to or not. I'm not so sure about that, Nobre. I think I can distract myself with Elden Ring for a while. Though yes, this year I do need to get back to DS2, so if only so I can at least finish Ilium Lois. I also have a lot of DS2 stuff I want to update and go through. Your most recent thing you sent me, Nobre, on Shaded Woods was looking real nice. What the hell is going on? The camera's being weird too now. I might restart this entirely, Jack, because I'll be honest, I'm not liking how this thing is treating it. Yeah, it's been weird. I don't trust this. Loki DS2's in high demand? No, it isn't, I am. Yeah, I don't know what was going on with the shading there. Well, granted, okay, part of that was the camera, right? When I X'd out the program, it did that, but yeah, it was being a little weird. It was working fine when I first started it up, so I don't know what was the cause there. Come on. There we go. Especially since given how many songs they announced in the DLC will have, it could be theoretically around half as in the base game. Oh, they've already announced the songs and everything. That's cool. I mean, it really depends, because we have to also consider there could be background music. Like, have they announced the names for the songs and stuff? Because, if I recall correctly, Alright. There we go. If I recall correctly, a lot of names tend to just be, like, boss theme or something. At least that's what I see floating online. Yeah, I wonder if the new graphics card update did something. The, what's it called, NVIDIA, Neo, GeForce, whatever they call it. Because it feels a lot, I've never had this much lag in, yeah, I've never lagged this hard in Langdell before. You guys have been here for a while now, man. It looks a little weird. Oh well. Uh-oh. 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 Key bindings aren't working. Uh-oh. That's not good. Let's try this one more time. You guys don't want to hear about leaks? Alright. Guys, I will warn right ahead, I personally don't care about leaks, but if we're gonna have people in the chat who don't want to hear leaks, then I'm gonna have to ask you to refrain. Look, you think the Copse is part of Ulasil 2 that got drifted to the far north? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's always been my position on that. At the very least, I've always considered the Copse an extension of the Shaded Woods, which is, of course, obviously an Ulasilian forest, so I'm not surprised if there's evidence of Mushroom Men and the Ulasilian white trees there as well. Alright, we're gonna try this one more time, chat. Oh, camera's working. So that's good. I think we got it finally fixed. I don't know what was going wrong, but... yeah, it seems to be operating normally now. Good. There we go. Gotta do that one more time now, because I don't know why that wasn't loading properly. There we go. No leaves in the background. Nothing. Caveman getting beat up by Langdale Knight. Shake my head. Honestly, that seems like that'd be accurate to how that would actually go down, don't you think? I personally feel like that ain't a problem. You know, we talk about the Banished Knight things, but the Langdale Knights also have that tassel on their spears, or is that for every spear? Langdale should add some anti-bullying laws. Why? We love to get bullied. It's the partisan, yeah. Oh, I noticed the way the amber that's decorating the Mikolan Knight Sword seems to be a callback to how the Glintstone decorates the Carian Knight Shield, which I thought was fun. Is it the Carian Knight Shield? I could have swore the Mikolan Knight Sword was based on the Carian Knight Sword or something like that. Am I crazy? Yeah, all the knights use the partisan. What about the human effigy being stored in Haida thing? Goes with the stuff that's already happening in the... I mean, I'd say that's pretty consistent. No, Bray, it's a generic item, so... I wouldn't consider anything, like, too deep up there. For a second, I thought you were talking about the Copes, and I was like, oh yeah, of course, that makes sense with all the experiments on Undead happening there. But no, if it's Haida, then yeah. Seems the design is inspired by both. Ah, I see. So that's what you're getting at, Xavier. In that case, I'll have to take a closer look at them. Is there anything special about this stuff, really? Not especially. Am I not crazy? Maybe this angle is better. Yeah, nothing really special there. Want to get some shots of the foot soldiers, though. Do we have any in the area? Not really. Oh. Yeah, I should have expected that. There we go. But could originate from Haida, given that a Firekeeper that implicitly is from there hands us an effigy that leads to a character creation. Okay, the problem with the thing with the human effigies is that sure, they could have originated in Haida, but it's hard to say because they're such a generic item that is simply supposed to be like, you know, someone made a crude effigy that seems to at least intuitively, because the person seemed to have at least intuitively understood that that was, the true human form, right? You know, the humanity within us, the Dark Soul, right? And so they shaped that effigy as such, and we then use that effigy as undead in order to get a sense of our place and recenter our mind, right? So in that sense, I don't think it really means too much. That's cool, but I think it would be better if we get it from here, because then we can look at the... Because there's going to be a knight that comes by through here, right? Could be that Aldia made them. I don't know if we can date it as late as Aldia, could we? Because like Nobre says, like, you find it in places like Haida, so it seems more likely to be... Wait, why are we... Oh, that's why. I was like, why are we having trouble with, Why are we having trouble with the background there? Is the fact that Karian weapons have unique hit effects useful in analysis? Depends on what the hit effect is. If it's just like, oh, it sounds like a physical weapon, but different from other physical weapons, then no. That could be, like, so many things, right? Maybe they were testing stuff, could be this was, like, their first thing, maybe it was a mistake and they were using some old... I don't like how the camera... I don't... Okay. There. I don't like how the camera was doing weird things there. Alright, that's cool. No. Yeah, this is neat. Haida meddling with pressing the hollow form? Could be. Again, we know that they did make crypts and stuff, for saints and things of that nature, so they definitely were well aware of undeath and trying to probably find ways to deal with it. But again, whether or not effigies would be needed versus, say, just simply doing the old thing with the whole, what's it called? Rituals that we perform in Dark Souls 1, that's a separate question. Like, would they forget something like that? Would that not get passed down, especially if, pretty much everyone involved in that case would have been originally undead and stuff like that. There are questions that I would have. I'm still curious why this. Like, my first thought would be this would be being used as, like, a military headquarters, but we don't see much else done with this building outside of that. So, if so, it's a very superficial thing. It's like, let's pretend this is where, like, they operate from or something. It's like, oh, okay. But they seal it like everywhere else. The fact that this guy's on top of the ash pile is suspicious. Ooh, I like that, but we're gonna need a better angle. I'm gonna try one more. There we go. It's a darker blue magic hit effect. What do you mean by darker blue magic hit effect? Is in like the visual effect or the audio effect? Because if we're talking about the visual effect, that could be useful for analysis if we're trying to argue something about magic sword. Though I am curious how that would differ with, say, like other... Actually, do we have other... Oh, I guess we do. We have Moonveil and stuff, right? So... I think we're good. I think we're good there, so. So I want a shot around. Yeah, I want a shot like this. Where we get a good look at the foot soldiers as well. Look at just time of day. Gonna adjust the time of day a little bit there. I say, so you're saying that it is unique there even with the infused weapons. Then yeah, that could be useful for analysis. Though it's gonna depend on like what exactly is the use for... Because I could see several things. Are we talking about like just the type of magic being used with Glintstone? Are we trying to do it for a comparison for other magics that might have that similar effect or something related to it? I can think of a few things. Too late. Yeah. We want something like this, right, chat? And higher LOD does nothing here, so. Given the location of the Ring of Binding that makes this hollow less Blue Cathedral, doesn't that show Haida making more ways beyond Christopher Pest Hollow form? I mean, assuming that it is Haida and not, say, the Way of Blue or the Blue, sorry, not the Way of Blue, the Blue Sentinels who are now operating out of that church, for example. Could be. Hey, McGregor. Best chatter has arrived. The party can start. Welcome to the party. Alrighty, now let's see. I like that. Alright. Alright, let's look if there's any other good shots we can find around Langdale. Ah, there we go, 2-1. What do you think the next game is going to be, and what are your thoughts on the Spellbound rumors? Wasn't Spellbound proven to be a doctored hoax by somebody? I vaguely recall that getting discovered somewhere down the line. That it was all made up. So, yeah, they were confirmed to be junk. Yeah, so yeah, my opinion on the Spellbound rumors is that they're not real. God, this guy's skin looks fugly. He looks like a lizard person. I mean, I know we're in the capital city, but come on, the lizard people are supposed to be the elites. Hey, I'm in. Damn. Man, I really love the shot chat, but there's that ever so slight little bit of yellow that's just clipping through that annoys me to no end, but that's a future Loki problem. Come on, you have to come back, buddy. Alright, this is it. Chat, this is the moment of truth. I'm gonna now slow the game speed down to 130.36. Now we're gonna... That could work. I don't think the composition is there. Yeah, I'm not feeling it. And obviously not there. Guess I can always get a base shot like this just to test. And now we're here. Now we wait for the guy to come back and us to do the same thing, but him facing the other way. I hope it's a Sekiro style game with more care. Oh. You were faster than I thought, buddy. Okay, fine. We're gonna wait for you to go back again. The ring is found in a course before the old Dragon Slayer did. No, Bray, I'm not gonna be going over this right now. I'm a little busy with other stuff, and I'll talk to you about it later in the Dark Souls chat if need be. Can I ask you a question? Is it true that said that Mesmer is Marika's kid? That Miyazaki said. Yes, I recall that from an interview. Alright, he's coming back. Okay, yeah, here we go. Alright, there we go. Can I ask you a question about Dark Souls 3? As long as it's like a short and simple one, sure. Alright. Oh, I love that so much, Chad. Don't like the clipping. Alright, that's cool. I'm actually really happy with those shots. What are your thoughts on the Archthrow mod? I always support more mods for the games that people enjoy. I don't necessarily play those types of mods myself. I prefer, you know, the actual games, and that's pretty much it. But I'm sure they're fun, and if the people want to do it, that's great. Like, why should I care what stuff that fans make and do for themselves? Oh, we're having weird moments again with the camera. Did I? Alright, camera's back to normal. Yeah, I don't know why the camera's having this weird bob thing it's doing now. It usually only does that in higher LOD, but now it's doing the weird thing now. I don't know if it's because it's having some... Again, I don't know how any of that works. Play with Fisheye. Do you think FromSoft could blend the Sekiro style with the sword and board style? If sword and board, you mean sword and shield. I mean, they could add more into the counter idea, probably, right? They kind of try to do that with some of the Sekiro mechanics they already implemented, but I think it would be difficult to make... Again, I feel like Sekiro's already that kind of game if you want it, right? It would be easier to take Sekiro's combat and then add a kind of shield as like a side mechanic, kind of like the other ninja tools that exist in Sekiro. Which, mind you, I have not played or beaten to the completion, right? I've only played a little bit. So, I don't know if that would be even smart, personally. This will be cool. You should beat Sekiro, it's a good game. Yeah, but I didn't feel it. I wasn't feeling it. I was like, you know what? I'm not really interested in playing a Sengoku era game. It just didn't grab me. You should beat Elden Ring, you know. Now that's a game I do actually plan to do to completion. Can't help but break the game, Loki. Listen, it's not my intention, but you're right. I do seem to keep on breaking these goddamn games as I go running around in them, and I don't know why. It's not like I do anything that's particularly crazy compared to other players. Damn. I had it, and then I unhad it. Oh, damn. There, that moment. Right before the wind picks them up. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Maybe my graphics card is just getting old, chat. Maybe that's it. Maybe my graphics card is just chugging along, and it's like, please, for the love of God, replace me. And it's like, I got you, fam. I'm getting a completely new PC, so I'll toss you out. Bury you out back where you belong. I just want Sekiro with more build variety, personally. Well, again, that's where I would say, well, hope for a Sekiro 2, right? Or a new game inspired by Sekiro with the same combat, you know, like Dark Souls and Demon Souls and Elden Ring and all that, right? Gotta put it down! Yeah, it's time to just take it out back and give it the old Yeller treatment. Yeah, PS5. Yes, I do have a PS5. That doesn't mean I want to play everything I could possibly play on a PS5. I prefer to play my PC games on PC, especially when I can add these cameras. We already have shots of this. You know, this is really serving my interest. Also, am I the only one that find it funny that we have normal torchlight when they're using, like, golden light elsewhere? Xavier, didn't you mention something about this church and the flower picker statue here? I vaguely recall. Am I crazy? I didn't just dream that up, did I? Yeah. Graphics card's just having a retirement. Yeah, what was it? The statue with the grass texture on it. Oh, I see. It's not just any grass texture, too. It looks like they specifically chose the golden grass textures you see in Altus. Coolio. Interesting. I don't recall this for the statues on the highway, so... Then granted, the statues of the highway are best seen under the sunlight, so it's possible they just blend in with the highlights. Coolio. Are these shots for Radigan's Reign? No. I'm actually doing a small update to Age of Plenty to talk about America's military, so I'm like, oh, okay, I need to get actual shots of our soldiers, because strangely enough, I have a million shots of Lingdell, and not many of them involve the actual soldiers patrolling the streets of Lingdell. Hilariously enough. I guess that makes sense, because I was probably saving, you know, knowing me, I was probably like, I'll get those whenever I get around to the Shattering, but now I'm just talking about them generally, so it's like, oh, I should probably include reference to this. Alright, this one I definitely use high LODs for. Yeah. 100%. Perfect. Loki, is the crest on top of the Lingdell Night Helm supposed to depict the Erdtree or a generalized golden plant? The term used, and I'm actually going to bring this up in the update that I'm doing, funnily enough that you're mentioning it, The term used is golden tree decoration, essentially, right? It's the same term used for the tree sentinels. Obviously, the tree sentinels' golden tree decoration is very different from the Langdell Knights' golden tree decoration. And the pause is very deliberate. The way that it's worded is not worded the same way as the golden tree per se. It's written in a way that would sort of suggest that they're talking about the idea that, yes, you're describing the tree or the tree decoration, but not necessarily in the same way that you would just say the Erd tree. Now, obviously, are both established to be for the Erd tree? Yes, but just by, the general thing of, their surcoats and, everything that both knights are all about and stuff, right? But it's not like just saying, like, oh, this is, like, I don't know, a piece of the Erd tree, or that they're necessarily the same. Obviously, the Langdell Knights decoration is more so a metal that's the color of gold, while the tree sentinels have more, like, what looks like an actual, like, tree plant thing with, like, golden leaves and stuff, so it's a golden tree, not the golden tree. Yes, that's how it reads to me when I look at it, right? Like, it's not intended to be like, oh, this is a piece of the Erd tree. Now, obviously, we are talking semantics, because, well, golden tree is the golden tree, it's the Erd tree, right? Like, that's just the terminology. But the way I'm trying to, like, put it is that there's, like, a slight bit of nuance there. So that way, it's not just simply saying, it's Erd tree decoration, right? But it's, like, specifically just trying to talk about how, yeah, it's a tree decoration that's gold, essentially. Oh, look, I want to question Loki versus Last Protagonist discussion. I have no idea what discussion you're talking about. You just stalking Langdell soldiers. Loki a fan? I'm not a fan of them. The Knights have misshapen heads, like the malformed Dragon Sentinels. Don't, like, all people in the lanes between have, like, misshapen heads? Like, have you seen those citizen conscripts? Oh god, did I get all the shots I wanted? Let me double check. I don't know, Chad, I don't think I like that shot, actually. It's okay, I get... There's, like, aspects of this I like, but then the way the sword blends in with the background kind of annoys me, so... I really hate that I'm like this, chat. I really do. I really wish I was the type of person who was like, you know what, it's good enough. JP discussion, I still don't know what you're talking about, man. I was wondering if the Night Helm was meant to have the Erd tree on it to complement the rays of gold on the tree, like the Erd tree shining down on the cape. It could be that idea, but again, it doesn't clarify. It just says golden tree decoration. So it's clearly supposed to represent a tree, the way it's designed, but whether, like, there's any, like, meaning to the specifics of the abstract, or literally it's just supposed to be this abstract plant imagery that's vaguely alluding to the tree up there, I mean, you can argue. I'd probably say the latter is probably more likely, looking at this from this angle, for example. Also, that stupid leaf there really annoys me, but whatever. It is what it is. I'm actually get a shot of this now for my future reference. You probably just like because his right leg is clipping through it. You didn't! I didn't even notice that, Night Scout! Why the frick do you have to point that? Now that you mention it, now that's gonna annoy me and distract me! Should have let me live in blissful ignorance! My two gods discuss lore? LOL? I do recall discussing some of it with Last Protagonist once or twice, I suppose, but that's it. Maybe this is the angle. It's a little similar to the first one, I think, but I'll do a comparison later just to make sure. And definitely not here, right? Oh. I mean, it's not unsalvageable. Oh god, but that cape clipping is really obvious there. He's asked for a lore debate with Last Protagonist? Is he? I mean, I don't know. Like, depends on what we're debating lore on. I wouldn't want to do so for Elden Ring. I still consider myself a noob when it comes to Elden Ring lore. Nah, it's fine, guys. Don't worry. I don't mind too much about the whole Knight thing. I just want to get a good shot of him from the front, because that looks like a good shot for, like, oh, Knight's patrolling and stuff, so I think that's good. It's good enough. But can we get this guy to do his thing? dude supposed to like try to automatically attack you? I thought he had a trigger. Oh, there we go. I'm like, I could have sworn he was triggered so he could do that shit. We may as well grab that while I'm here. Oh god. He looks so ugly. He looks so ugly. Like, my man, can you look any less photogenic while you're doing that? Doesn't help that there's these freaking leaves in the way. You know what? Well, you tried. Alright, I'm done. Wait, why am I locked on? Get out of the way. This has been a janky stream, I will say. Oh, got an AR question. Why do the scales of the Arch Dragon twist time? Is it because there's too much gold / iron or something? I have no idea. You tell me. You probably know better than me. As I said, I feel like a noob when it comes to this stuff, and I'm purposely avoiding the cosmology stuff. Because, man, I don't want to... That's such a big brain stuff, and I don't want to do it again. I mean, your text is becoming harder and harder to translate today. I know usually I'm able to parse it out, at least for the most part, but oh boy, today I am struggling. Me knowing more than you, funniest joke I've ever heard. Listen, guys, I do not have a very high opinion of myself. Especially when it comes to this game. This is the game I 100% guarantee know the least about of any of From Software's titles. And it's going to be like that for probably a very long time. Because there's just so much content. Now granted, with the DLC out, and the months I put in, well, I guess it's been about a year now, I'm starting to get in there. Like, I'm starting to get, like, into, like, the fundamental, like, you know, fundamental, like, the basic stuff. But I still think I've got a long way to go. So... It's okay, man. Take your time, and we'll try to bridge that communication barrier. You know, there's not as many Langdell guys in this this place as I thought there were. Oh god. Okay, we're gonna do this one more time, chat, because this is starting to get painful. Is that gonna help fix it? Nope. Oh my god. The funny part is I can't tell if this is a tree that, the leaves might be the same as the ones seen in Deep Root Depths, so I'm not sure if I've seen the actual tree anywhere else. I can't remember. I have to go look at my old, I think I have shots of this, so I have to look at those old ones. Man, it's funny thinking about how these guys were literally just swapped out with Banished Knights and Exile Soldiers. This is the same that's used in Stormveil? Okay, good. I was like, it feels like it might be, but I can't remember. Oh, Loki, did you know that we find Sights of Grace in one of the DLC promotional shots? I remember it being in the whole Kari and, you know, Liurnia chick building thing. Whoever that person is. Ah, you're gonna be like that, huh, game? So that's how it's gonna be. I think this is the best we're gonna get then. Fair enough. If that's how it be, that's how it be. That AC-like castle? What AC-like castle? Are we talking Assassin's Creed, Armored Core? Like, there's a lot of ACs in gaming. Yeah, just foot soldiers, nothing special there. Man, it's so weird. It's me trying to keep the camera there. It's like, oh god. I'm not using high LOD still, right? Like, I need... Oh, no, I am. That's why. You know what? I was like, why the frick is this being so extra difficult? It's like, okay, that explains it. That explains it. Just me being dumb. I forgot to turn off the high LOD from... We took that shot of the night on the balcony area. Acheron's Call! Yeah, there's so many ACs. Ace Combat. Ancient Civilization. Oh, AC as in AC and ER terms. Okay, so Ancient Civ stuff. Okay, good to know. I thought you were talking about another game. It's in that AC-like castle. Is that a leak thing, Nobre? Because if so, I'm gonna have to tell you, please, no leaks. We talked about this at the beginning with IAM and every stuff. Some people here want to go in blind right now, so I'm gonna ask that you don't talk about leaks on the public chat here. Again, I personally don't care, but Xavier and I'm sure others watching heard that in, and so we're gonna respect their position on this. If it's not leak content, that's a different story. Best content. Loki and Last Pro Cabs, but you have different perspective. It can be interesting if you talk to your... So you... Okay, so like Xavier says, it sounds like you're trying to, ask for a debate. I mean, I've never really done a debate, and I don't find debates particularly engaging or useful, personally. But I wouldn't mind, like, getting in a friendly chat with Last Protagonist about stuff. I have no problem with that, if he's up for it. Because generally, when I get in discussions with people, we tend to always differ. I mean, that's the reason different content creators exist, right? Like, if the content creator just, like, parrots all of your opinions, then why the frick do you exist, right? Like, why? I think it's a fair question, right? The only thing I know was leaked was America's feet pics. I'm pretty sure we got America's feet pics official in that trailer, right? Like, she's a whole lot of feet there. What's about skeletons? It's the game that makes them alive, if that makes sense. Yeah, the Deathblight. Yeah, Night Scout's right. Deathblight's the simple answer there. All the skeletons that we know of are animated by Deathblight or Necromancy in the case of what's-his-face in the cave there. There may be other examples, the Sage's Cave, right? But the Necromancy that the Sage guy uses also seems to be based on, like, ancient death magic with the death birds and stuff, so, like, it all ties together. Yeah, let's go down here. Yeah, Garrus the Necromancer. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm okay with it. Like, maybe I'll reach out to Last Pro Tag and ask what he thinks about it. I'm not against having a discussion. I just wouldn't want to frame it as, like, a debate type thing. Because I just don't like it. I feel like we both have, obviously, our thoughts. I wouldn't want to approach it that way, because then you kind of have to be a little pointed, and that can get messy and antagonistic. And, like, again, I'd rather have a friendly discussion and stuff and see how that goes. Who's the worst parent in your opinion, Gwyn or Marika? Gwyn. Definitely Gwyn. Again, DLC might change things depending on how Mesmer's treatment and stuff is done. But the closest thing I could think of that Marika does to what Gwyn does to Gwendolyn is like maybe Godefroy. And again, I still think the way that Gwyn treats Gwendolyn is worse. And I think, like, again, also the stuff with Princess Filianor, sort of just leaving her as like as like a pseudo marriage alliance type scenario, where she's essentially left there for basically all of her life throughout the entire Age of the Gods, right? And yes, obviously Gwyn was intending to eventually come pick her up and stuff, but that was such a long-term plan, and as we can see, it didn't pan out, and she ends up just basically being asleep for dying and stuff. So like what a waste of a life hers was, huh? So yeah, I think that I would say that the Marika has been a better mother to the demigods than Gwyn was to his children. Yeah, Marika did throw Morgott and Mohg in the sewers. I'm aware. I'm factoring that in there too. I still think that's better. Still think that's better. I still think Morgott and Mohg got the better deal out of that. But yeah, I wouldn't say either are particularly good parents. You can argue whether or not they love their children, but I think good parentage is out of the cards. Alright, so this is pretty much it, right? There's no more. Like, I don't think there's any in the sewers, if I recall correctly. Yeah, there shouldn't be. It should just be the gargoyles. There are some, though, up here. Let's go up here for a sec. I don't think it had anything to do with Surpass, more so, Tyrone. It was more so, the politics. In terms of the whole light-dark dynamic. Oh, wow. Oh, wow! Wow, I can't believe that's... Like, that's impressive to me. Okay. Must be because I was standing there. It was considering me on the steps, so it didn't feel the need to load it. But yeah, that was kind of surprising to me. While you're here, is there any gold left on the underside of Grand Sax's wings, or is he fully Greystone? Sure, I can check that, but let's adjust the time of day here first. So we're gonna get higher LOD. We're gonna take one shot here just so we can have that as the base to compare to. I don't know, Chad. I'm not really partial to this. I know I say this a lot, chat, but I really do. I really do have... I'm super picky. So I'm really like, is this really the one? Like, is this really the thing that I want? I know it can kind of sound, rather unnecessary. Ooh. Now, here... Yeah, no. A little bit. There! Oh, this one might work. I have the liberty to be this picky since I don't have a free cam. Very true. funny part is, nighttime Langdell may as well be daytime Langdell. This feels like Langdell on a cloudy day. Oh. Let's see if there's any, like, loading problem. Yeah, no. The issue is definitely not loading. Alright, I'm happy with that shot. Anything with these guys out here? Yeah, just gargoyles and stuff. We don't care for gargoyles and stuff. That's what it goes when you practically, basically sleep next to a dim sun. Uh-huh. Exactly. Oh yeah, there's the idea of watching the Arc of the Sun during a day and night between. Yeah, well, that would have to be a separate stream, because I would have to put it on ×5 speed and then just literally find a good spot and sit back and wait for like 30 minutes or whatever, because it still takes some time, even with the ×5 speed, so. Oh. Oh. Gonna keep that in mind. Yeah, one thing I have to do, chat, is I want to go around here still and find any examples of Banished Knight equipment in the main city. Because for the ramparts, I could argue, because the main building connected to the Gilded Banished Knight equipment goes into the ramparts, that's their equipment or their spare equipment or something. I can't really argue that in the main city, and I think I want to put that in my Godric thesis, talking about, like, the Banished Knights that Morgoth brings back, right? Do these knights on patrol take any break or sleep? As far as I'm aware, no. The NPCs don't have any sort of quote-unquote breaks in their schedule or anything. They don't even have... This isn't, Skyrim. They have no schedules to speak of, as far as I'm aware. Which is a shame, because again, Miyazaki has this obsession with having a day and night cycle, and he doesn't really use it for much. It's kind of just there. It's like, oh, cool. It could be daytime or nighttime. That's neat. Its effects, though, on the world are rather minuscule, unfortunately. Don't need to look at my hairy legs. Yeah, it does affect enemy aggro range. But like I said, these are very small things that most of the time you're not going to notice it while you're playing the game. Especially when the game resets today every time you die. It's like, oh. Okay. You have to purposefully play at the time of day that you want, if you actually want to get, like, the specific effects. Cool imagery, but nothing really that special. Alright, let's go look at these dragon wings. Now, unfortunately, looking under the wings is going to be hard, because I don't think you can get the Erdtree / daytime lighting to actually show anything. We can see the gold and stuff on the top side of the wings. In fact, you know, I'm going to get a shot of that. Ignore the tree clipping! Ignore it! Ignore me! Yeah, the resetting the morning when you die is just the super annoying part about it, especially when you're trying to stay in night mode. It also feels very, like, again, this is my problem with Elden Ring in general. A lot of its mechanics feel like they've definitely been dumbed down to be hand-holdy by From Software, right? It doesn't have the same confidence of figure it out yourself as their earlier games did. Particularly with the, oh, well, you died when it's potentially nighttime, so we're gonna reset it today, so that way you don't have to deal with the challenge of night. It's like, well, what if I wanted it to be night? Like, what if I'm actively trying to do a challenge at night or something? It's like, really? Like, you could have just left it as the time it is. Unless there's some, like, really deep lore reason why it has to be daytime every time the Tarnished respawns after death or whatever, right? Yeah, I agree, They could have done more with the animation stuff to make nighttime feel better with the enemies and stuff. Like, it'd be cool if at night they either had different enemies, like, take up the posts in the certain responses, or they had some of, like, inconsistent numbers of them, which are, like, falling asleep on the job or something. So, like, they're kind of like, maybe there's, like, the individual knight we saw there, instead of him being, like, you know, standing up there looking like he's maybe, like, on the ground, like, asleep and stuff, and you could sneak past him. Like, they could have done a lot more with the enemy placements. But let's be honest, this game, they, like, replace enemies and move things around and keep on trying to, like, experiment with different enemy setups and stuff. I don't think they're doing that. Alright, look at the underside of the wings, Night Scout. It looks like it's the same as the top side of the wings. So, I don't know what exactly you were looking for, but yeah, that's what it's looking like. Nothing really too special about the wings on the underside versus the overside. Is that even a word? I think the reset tomorrow is to make night cows feel a bit more rare, like it expects you to find you again later just traveling. Though that can be too easily rendered moot by just setting the time at a grace. Again, but that's an extra action on the player's part that they have to. They have to set the time there, which again, I think that makes that the organic gameplay. Because let's be honest, the average player isn't probably setting the time or something like that. Again, unless they're like specifically doing like a nighttime challenge or something like that, right? Like they're like, oh, okay, my buddy told me that I have to fight this boss at nighttime, so let me set the time at night then. Most players are just gonna be playing the game, and when they die and reset, they're just gonna continue playing the game. Especially with and especially in games like this, you know, you're gonna die eventually. So the time you spend at nighttime naturally is usually based on more so if you left your game on, but like went AFK for a little while, more so than you just naturally going through and playing for a long time. Same thing with raining. I would love it if Rain made like characters like, you know, like they had to take their torches out. They had to put on hoods or something when they're going out there. They had to go seek shelter, so a lot of them, which would normally, like, maybe the knights continue patrolling, but, like, say, soldiers and stuff, they'll, like, go under, like, building areas and stuff, trying to stay out of the rain or whatever. Like, there's so much more that could definitely be done to make the whole daytime, nighttime stuff feel more, organic. As is, I think it's like Night Scout was saying earlier, it's a nice little kind of feature where it's like, oh, cool, the time of day is passing, but it's like, you don't really get to enjoy it to its full potential. Despite this being like what Miyazaki's wanted to do for like the longest time. Night bosses could have used randomized spawn points in my opinion, so they feel a bit more like surprises you meet while traveling. I mean, I think the way they set them up, they are. The problem is I think the way that the games From Software makes are set up, you kind of have to have them at fixed spawn points. Or at the very least spawn areas, right? They have to be within a certain range of places. So, I think making it where they spawn randomly within a certain area or something, kind of the same way that you would do invasions, might be a bit too complicated with their current technology, but hey, what do I know? It looks like I got all the stuff I wanted there, so now let's look at Banished Knight equipment things. I know there's some in here, and we got shots of it, I'm pretty sure, right? Wonder if there's any more chairs or something, too. I should go back to that elevator space and see if there were chairs there I could take a look at. Yeah, they use these little golden stools things instead of the chairs with the hawk backs on them. Coolio. Oh no, they do have the chairs. Okay, I'm not crazy. I was curious if we would find these chairs outside of the perimeter of the fortified manor, but the answer is most certainly yes. Yeah, so all of this I think I'm gonna use as I think I'm gonna use this as evidence in More Godric to talk about the idea that Morgoth brings back a bunch of banished knights with him. Because again, we see this reflected in the cut content, obviously, but then they swapped out with Leyndell Knights, but they left this environmental storytelling. So either A, this is an oversight by the devs, which is possible, you have to accept that, or, along with all the other evidence that the game gives you, is intended to sort of hint at the fact that there were banished knights stationed here, but then, much like the cut content, this got changed and they got moved into the Gelmir battle. Yeah, you found this chair a few weeks ago. I do not remember, Night Scout. That's the fun part about me. I discover things, I'm like, oh wow, that's so cool. I really gotta add that somewhere. Then I forget about it because I have a million other things I'm thinking about. And then I inevitably rediscover it again. Sometimes when I'm reading my own article, I'm like, oh wow, that's cool. I wish I wrote about that. Wait a second. I did. God, why am I like this? Again, I love to imagine that this was actually Miquella's house. Just because of all the lilies, it's just like, it'd be so funny if this is supposed to be Miquella's home. Like, watch the DLC comes out, and after you complete the DLC, there'll be an item that's left here, inexplicably, for those in the know. That would be so funny if that was the case. Also, holy... I hope there wasn't a chair I need there. Now these chairs are more justifiable here because we do have the banished knights. Ignore that debris, chat. The debris is a future Loki problem. But yeah, because this is the room with the gilded banished knight equipment and stuff like that, so it's like, okay, it's not a big shocker if you see some of these Hawk-style backings here. Now granted, you can still argue it's like the banished knight military stuff in here, but you know, it's not as strong a case by itself. Yeah, the room's higher up, but it's part of the same building. See? It all connects. So it's like, I'm not gonna go look at this and be like, okay, no, this definitely proves my point, right? Like, I think I have better evidence than this, right? Like, the room that was over there with the lift is better evidence than this. Now, granted, one argument you could say that it's for the military purpose is because we do see stuff like the perfumers having set up some shop here, right? So... with that factored in, maybe you could make a stronger case for it, but like I said, I think there's still stronger evidence. Yeah, there's nothing down here. We just have the typical golden seats and stuff. There's our favorite perfumer going to the bar, giving his buddy his favorite bit of drugs, that good powdery stuff that he really loves. It's funny how I can unironically say that, yeah, he's just doling out drugs to his buddy. Okay, yeah, we have it in this room too. Yeah, so I can't say anything for this building specifically. I saw it as a pharmacy desk. Yeah, that's the joke, Night Scout. That's the joke. Calling it a bar where the guy, deals some drugs under the table. Please, please. I said this last time, please have a sense of humor. Crack. No, I am. It's not crack. It's that good powdery stuff. Not the white stuff. Oh, okay. Yeah, nothing up here. It's just the couches. Well, I gotta say, it would suck if these got rained on. Actually, does Langdell ever rain? Huh. I mean, even accounting for the Erd Tree, it should still rain under the canopy a little bit, right? So, unless the gold of the Erd Tree itself, like, I don't know, disintegrates water on contact or something. Oh, we have an item over there. I can't believe I made that. Smithing Stone 5, what a shocker. Man. Next year, tell me that item over there is going to be Smithing Stone 6. Can't believe that worked yet. Oh, no, that didn't work. Come on. Come on. Come on, let me into that ash-filled chimney. There we go. Woo! Now Golden Room 9. Also, equally as unsurprising pretty much anywhere. Let's just get this one here. Oh my god, but there's an item. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. You have to look at it. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine, chat. We can do this. We can make this work. We can make this work. We just... Okay, we just ignore that. There we go. Yes, I win. Yeah, it doesn't affect anything here. I like that. Do we have any imps that could be predate Marika and her Erd Tree burial stuff? I'm actually kind of curious if I can think of any instances where they might not be from Marika's time. I guess we can know in the DLC if they want to add that. Altus rains, the city does not, I believe, so it probably gets rain in setting, particularly with the slanted roofs to make water run off. Yeah, that's what I would assume, right? Like it would natural, but I guess for the feel of this area, Miyazaki and From didn't want to let it rain during all this. Which honestly, I'll say this, I'm disappointed. I would love to see rain in rain here. I feel like this dungeon would look really cool raining. But now I have to wonder, do any of the dungeons rain besides I think maybe Raya Lucaria? So it might just be a legacy dungeon thing that they just don't wanna have rain be a possibility. These guys might throw fire pots if I recall correctly. Yeah, that would make sense to me. Fire pots definitely fits. Okay, yeah, we have these tables here too. Again, chat, we know from Fortified Manor, they have an Erd Tree, not model, I would say, but they have a Erd Tree chair model, right? So they 100% could. They could 100% use those trees as assets instead of what we got here. So 100%, I think this is intentional. from when they were having Banished Knights back then, and maybe they either didn't change it or whatever, because obviously, like, you know, perfumers by themselves doesn't necessarily make sense for them to use these chairs, but... I just realized how much they just put in, like, a gas vapor thing in this area. Huh. Really trying to get across that whole perfuming thing.
Doing drugs. Hardcore drugs.
Honestly, my memory of anything raining is hazy because I kept dying. True. Sucks for those books. Oh, sucks for whatever that was. Listen, chat, I try to make sure that my quote-unquote dig sites are staying perfectly preserved. But you know, sometimes when you're an archaeologist, sometimes you just gotta use the dynamite. Sometimes you accidentally just trigger a little bit of DNT. You know? Accidentally, of course. Sometimes you just blow everything up. It happens, you know? I can't imagine it rains in Volcano Manor. If it doesn't rain in most other Legacy dungeons, I can't imagine Volcano Manor is an exception. Lingdell rains when Morgoth goes phase 2, then keeps raining after Morgoth's defeated. Oh, cool! I don't even remember that detail. Granted, I think I, like, rested, like, immediately after, you know, Comet Azuring him, so I don't even know if the rain triggered properly. Does it rain at the Halig Tree? Does it? Oh, that's cool. At Fortified Manor? Are there imps at Fortified Manor? I don't think so. Or are you talking about something else, Xavier? You're talking about the... Oh. Wow. I really forget how big the fall distance is in this game. I'm like, wow. I was actually kind of scared for a second that I actually die of falling. Maybe just my terrible habit in all my streams is making me paranoid. I think that's... No, the tree chairs at Fortified. Oh yeah, the tree chairs are at the Fortified Manor. Yeah. I don't think they're used anywhere else. Or at least I can't think of other places they're used. Maybe somewhere in Stormvale. Actually, no, I think Stormvale always uses the Hawk chairs still. Lower Capital Church, Avenue Balcony, Underground Redside. I could have swore there was a spot where Banished Knight weapons were used, though. I'm feeling like I'm gaslighting myself. I don't recall passing any area where we had, like, weapon racks or anything, though, for these. Again, outside of the, of course, building with the gilded armor. That's different. I'm talking about, like, just storage like we see in the one room with the Lingdell Knight. At the lower quarter. Huh. Melania sitting on one? Oh, well. So Melania does use that chair, which makes sense. So yeah, it has to be intentional then, because if they singled out Melania, then there's no reason they couldn't have done it for the rest of Lingdell with all its Erd Tree, you know, paraphernalia. Check the buildings immediately past the Tronic in the walls, but still a different spot. Yeah, not the walls either. The walls I've also gotten shots of. That's in my existing thesis and stuff. Like I said, I might even move that info to the Godric stuff and cut it out from the original analysis if I'm feeling so inclined. Yeah, I thought it was more than just those places. I guess not. I guess I'm just misremembering. I could have felt like there was at least like one like isolated weapon rack or something. Alright, I'm gonna give it one more look around here. Maybe it was along that area, the other side of the lower quarter. What? It's not here. These are generic weapons and stuff, right? Like, these are... I assume this is, again, because... And this also kind of affirms that the Banished Knight equipment is probably... it's more likely to be intentional then, right? Because you use Banished Knight equipment everywhere except in Lingdell here, where obviously they're using Lingdell Knights and stuff here. Yeah, maybe Pagan Quarter. I'll check. We got Lower Quarter here, though. Yeah, it's all these barrels for their fire bombs and stuff. Nothing else. Okay. Go over here. I hope I can't get killed by just like walking into that thing's spawn point or something. Yes, we have this we've covered. We've gotten shots of this. I distinctly remember doing all the glowstones and stuff for this. Let's try up here. Okay, now plants. There's none in the church. Nope. And not there. Okay, so this looks pretty clear then. Like, I don't think there's any sections of Lingdell we've missed. So let's check Pagan Quarter and then we're done. Again, the only other options are Fortified Manor and stuff, which obviously has its own precedent reasons. Nope, we have the axe, but that's about it. I just want to remember that for the perfume bottles for a, I don't think I'm going to mention this in my Radigan's Reign or anything like that, but I just want to have this kind of on record for in the future. Watch the DLC fix this dog's AI for no goddamn reason, by the way. Miyazaki's just like, oh yeah, we did screw up this dog's AI. Let's fix that. Let's make him actually work. Oh my god. Why is it 11.98? It was 11.99! It was 12 on the dot before! I swear. Oh no, yeah, I agree with you, Night Scout. It's I think the evidence at this point, I think my analysis has laid it out that it's pretty overwhelming that the BK stuff is 100% intentional. That somehow, somewhere, at some point in history, they were involved, and that's the reason the weapons are there. Because otherwise, why not do it for the generic equipment or for, you know, Lingdell specific equipment? Like, it's very obvious they're trying to use it to help kind of fill out the idea that they've been present. Ah, it had to be Exalted Flesh. It just had to be freaking Exalted Flesh. Because that reminds us of the Barbarians of Hoarah-Loux, which reminds us of Hoarah-Loux. And now I have to wonder if Exalted Flesh was something that went back to Hoarah-Loux's day now, and it wasn't just something that the Badlands did. Ah! And I'm right as I'm writing the analysis for that stuff now. Ah! That's gonna be on my brain for a while now, chat. Giving them 1 million damage by mistake. Don't give him that idea. 999,999 damage per super fast dog charge swipe. I don't even know how to describe that that hellhound's, I should say, attack. Loki hates more data confirmed. Loki hates data. Fake analyzer. He's a fraud. I hate that data. Get in the way of making me come out with quick and easy analyses so I can collect my paycheck. Freudian slip. The Freudian, I love it. It's not even Freudian, it's the Freudian slip. Stay hydrated, chat. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. You guys are gonna make it go down the wrong pipe. He's admitted to doctoring his photos. That's right, all my photos are 100% authentic. Sometimes I edit them to take out those annoying leaves that are distracting them when you have this beautiful shot, but then there's that goddamn golden leaf in the sky. Fallen leaves tell a story? No, they don't. The story is they look ugly. I did nothing wrong. I'm sorry, guys. You got me in a fit of laughter. That was so good. I'm laughing like a crazy person. I'm sorry. Oh no, he's dying. God, that was good. Man, you know, sometimes, chat, you guys have the perfect commentary to make all this photo shooting so much more enjoyable than it really should be. But yeah, Exalted Flesh. Now I'm gonna have to look if there's anywhere else the Exalted Flesh is. And how I'm gonna fit that into the analysis if we put it to Altus Unification War, for example, because I think that's where Pagan Quarter gets first mentioned, right? So, ooh. Again, it's very like random, right? That you would have like an actual like, you know, edible piece of marinated meat on a bone or whatever, right? But if we're going with the idea that this all dates back to Godfrey's era and stuff with that, then this is like part of that like maybe general cultural thing with barbarians and stuff. Like, I might wait until the DLC, because the DLC is going to help us expand a lot on this period and give us more of a transition and like help us sort of like sort out a lot more details, I think, with the whole Godfrey thing, especially with Mesmer, you know, being thrown into the mix. So I might wait on that, and we're just going to have to like, you know, put a pin in that Exalted Flesh thing. I might not work on that right away. Yeah, I agree. It makes sense if you think of the idea that, like, perhaps everything in the Badlands is literally just, like, you know, a going back to the old. It's not just Hoaraloo, but literally everything there has some precedence in the original period when Godfrey was Barbarian Man. I could totally buy that. But again, I wanna hold that until, because it's gonna be like one small thing I add to a really complicated thing overall, right? These guys, you know, hammering away at this corpse in with Beast Blood. I have to think over the significance in Beast Blood, besides the idea of like, you know, these guys are like part quote unquote beast, maybe, but like it's hurting their kind, you could argue. I also forgot what was on here, but I probably won't report it. I say for my own sanity. Gotten too excited for the DLC. Oh, I'm sure. I think we're all excited. I'm very, again, I'm very glad we're finally getting more Miquella stuff. More like, you know, extra dimensional dream world, spirit world realm type of crap. We're getting more backstory on Marika and stuff, which is gonna be great, because I don't care how much I have to end up adding or changing or whatever, right? whatever ends up happening there, I'm just glad we're getting more details and stuff, because that's going to make analysis so much easier. Like, if I have to move the Glowmite Queen incident to, like, the beginning of Marika's reign and stuff, like, that's great, because I might even be able to make a whole new, what might end up happening is, Altus Unification War will stay as is, but I might end up creating, rewriting Erdtree's Beginning as, like, its own thing, and what's currently in Erdtree's Beginning, at least the stuff with the Farm Colonists, might get its own new, separate, thesis. Again, but that's me speculating on, like, what future content might tell us. So again, we'll see once it's actually out, but like, again, like, it's gonna be really cool, I think. More Marika stuff too. Yeah, that's true. Marika in general, I do appreciate seeing more of her, because I do like her as a character a lot, and I want to see more of what they can tell us about her and how she develops and things, and how it's gonna fit into the main game. And of course, for me, it's also going to ultimately be, how do the farm colonies with the Banished Knights fit into the stuff with the pre-Erdtree culture and things like that. Again, there's a lot of cool stuff. Beastblood there makes me wonder whether Misbegotten killed their own or killed someone who tried to kill a Misbegotten. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But I was like, again, I'll think about that later. Again, there's a lot of stuff in that Pagan Quarter that, giving a second look now, especially now that I've been working on the Badlands and things, it's making me go like, I gotta now check to see other places that might have Exalted Flesh, and if that can similarly be significant in that way. It all has to come together, because I've done it for most of the other Badlands stuff, and most of it just sort of ties into, you know, the Tarnished, and, like, you know, Badlands culture in general, but that Exalted Flesh right there, you know, deep into the middle of Lanedale territory, has me wondering. Would you be irritated or relieved if the DLC reveals that Hoarah was a redhead? I'd be okay either way. If this is about, like, the possibility that Godfrey fathered Mesmer, I'd be okay with that. I'd have to change up my God of War theory, for example, like, if Mesmer turns out to be undeniably 100% definitely, like, the firstborn. But if Mesmer's just one of, like, a bunch of children, that could work. It's a bit weird, though, then, if we consider those children part of the Golden Lineage, and again, that's going to be a question of, is the Golden Lineage actually separate to, like, Godfrey versus Hoarah or what have you? Like, how, like, there's a bunch of questions then there that it opens up, but, like, I don't know, I think I'd be more, I don't have, like, a strong opinion about it anyway, but I wouldn't hate it, that's for sure. I think it'd just be like, oh, cool, that's a nice confirmation. Let's see what that tells us. Yeah, ultimately, guys, I want us to make sure that we get as close to the truth as possible, right? And as I've said before, Elden Ring has the least amount of localization stuff, so while I have found enough stuff to justify my content, ultimately, I'm mostly doing this because I just really am, like, you know, rather I should say that Elden Ring really has a stranglehold on me. Like, they just kind of grab me by the balls and, like, kind of hold. I'm in their chokehold. Okay, yeah, I think on everything that I think I possibly can, chat. I'm gonna go back to Stormveil. It's definitely a fun world. Yeah, again, I think what really makes Elden Ring for me is the fact that as someone who's worked so hard on Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3, Demon Souls, Bloodborne, and getting now to apply all the I guess, the work I've, like, quote, honed, working on Abyssal Archive and stuff, and the website, being able to now apply that to an open world setting, like seeing how From Software applies those storytelling techniques they've done, like what Miyazaki's done since Demon Souls, now to an open world setting, and a setting this big too, I think has just been so fascinating. Because you really can see, for better and worse, how the open world has really allowed them to expand the possibilities with the environmental storytelling. I really am impressed there. We were on the Wandering Mausoleum talk earlier today. When checking their concept art, the architecture was a bit different, a bit similar to the buildings in the DLC trailers. Is that so? That's cool. That's neat. Watch me get a reskinned Wandering Mausoleum in the DLC. You never know. I don't know if these are the same trees we see in Altus now, Xavier, now that I'm looking at it. I don't know why. These trees look smaller to me. Maybe that's the point. Maybe to show that they're younger compared to Altus's trees, but... Maybe this one? This one looks a little bit more. 100% the same leaves. Alright, I'm gonna take a screenshot so I can look at it side by side because I'm really... Yeah, you know what? Look at these, maybe? What about these? Okay, no, that's why. They're different trees. That's why. Yeah. Do we even see these at Altus? I don't recall seeing trees like this. Night Scout, you can, if you want, you can copy image and then copy paste and then just hit, you know, Control C on the image for the wiki and then Control V it in Discord. It'll just copy the image over directly instead of using whatever the hell the wiki has it coded as. It'll just, like, you know, it'll just copy paste it as a PNG for your future reference in case you ever want to post something there. Might have to go back and check. I just made the same gold look for the leaves. Oh yeah, it's definitely similar, but the style of leaf I'm curious about now. What the frick is this? I just noticed they got these like white leaves poking out of this like dark tree. Oh, they really are really forcing it, huh? It looked really silly for some of them. Like, you see it here. Like, it's like, that looks a little unnatural. Uh-huh. I've never realized that. That is so funny. God, it's so obvious now that I notice it, too. Yeah, From Software love grafting their models. Hey, Sasuke of the Sharingan. Hello, first time I managed to catch a live stream, so what's going on? Oh, I'm just looking at Stormveil trees right now. I got the shots I wanted of the army of Lingdell at, you know, Lingdell. So, I'm now looking to compare some trees with Altus trees. So it looks like we might have one species that's definitely the Altus tree. Like, this one definitely looks incredibly similar to one we see. These, though, do not. And now I want to go back in Altus and see if we can find this tree somewhere else. And we 100% only see these big trees over at Morn Castle. I think it's the only other place we find them, because I don't think they have these like half-dead trees anywhere else. Maybe at the Pagan Quarter, if I'm forgetting, but I don't think they do. Let's go here. Okay. I don't know how long we've been streaming, chat. I have not been paying attention, so... I started a little earlier than I usually do. I try to keep it close to the hour, but let me check. Oh god, I really haven't been paying attention. Okay, no, it's only been an hour 30 minutes. Okay, I haven't been wasting too much time. I was worried it would be like over 3 hours or something. It's like, holy hell, I need to get some stuff done. Oh, okay. This might be exactly the example I was looking for, Chad. These look like similar leaves to what we were just looking at. Maybe this tree does have a little less going on with it, but... Yeah, they look a little less alive. Yeah, we got the white bark and stuff and the tree leaves. Yeah, so like these are definitely like the same kind of trees. In fact, I'm gonna get a good shot of them from here. Could have swore I saw an item, but I think it's crazy. What's so special about the leaves? Nothing particularly except for the comparison. It's very useful when knowing like what tree models are using where, if it's a new tree model or a different one. Because that changes the explanation. Because let's say, for example, I say, or I have a theory or whatever, right? That I can establish with some good amount of evidence that this tree is born from America's blood or something, right? Like, this is America blood tree, right? And then we go over to Stormvale, and it has the same tree. And then I'm like, ah, see? It has America blood tree. This increases the chance that America came here and dipped her blood here to create more America blood trees at Stormvale, right? Like, or some crazy stuff like that, right? Like, it's data. What we are focusing on is gathering data. The more data we have, the better for our analysis, because we are able to make more accurate inferences. And those inferences help us build our theories, which allow those theories to potentially be more closely regarded as liable fact. There might be some more around the entrances to the Goldfree boss room. First thing I thought that was a typo, but then I'm like, oh, wait a second. Stop there. You know, if the minor Erd trees have distinct grace-tinged plants around them, should these trees be, those trees be used as the basis for determining whether a tree is grace-colored or not? No, because we see various manifestations of gold besides just those trees. Like, for example, the golden flowers that appear around minor Erd trees and, you know, phantom, you know, the smaller phantom trees, and around, what's it called? The, God, what's it called? The gardens with the chalices, that's the one. Around the golden chalices we see around here, right, with the gardens and stuff, right? Like, those are obviously very different from the type of trees that we see growing and stuff, so there can definitely be a variety. Now, I'm not saying that therefore we should consider, say, I don't know, these trees as necessarily any way related to the minor Erd trees or the Erd tree itself directly. But again, with all the other trees we see that are obviously influenced by the gold of the Erd tree or the minor Erd trees by being within their vicinity, right? That they evolve this species of tree or transform an existing tree or what have you. The same question can be fairly posed elsewhere. Drops in Amber Starlight too, yeah, very true. This tree is definitely, doesn't have that white bark either going for it. But yeah, this is again another reason why I would love if we start having tree models and stuff individually listed and mapped out, because that it would make it so much easier for us to try to quickly identify and find patterns. If we're like, oh, there's a tree that these trees find in Lingdale, we can also find in Stormvale and Redmane Castle. Let's go over Redmane Castle and see if we can find this tree that I don't remember seeing there or not, right? Like something like useful like that. Yeah, these are definitely the same trees we saw in Stormvale. 100%. There we go. I am curious why they have these trees specifically be of the more, you know, bit more defoliated variety, because I don't think the trees in Stormvale are quite this defoliated. Granted, it's not all of them. Maybe it's just because the size they have it. Yeah, because it definitely seems to be of a certain size. Okay. Nice guy, I remember us going over that with you when you last asked this a week or so ago, though I can't remember the specifics. I think it was something like above some of the doorways around here or whatever, we get like a very low poly texture of the thing that Xavier had showcased a while back. So yes, we do see that stuff elsewhere. It seems to be used as a generic above the door type thing, though the exact level of detail seems to only be, if I recall correctly, for above the fortified manor gateway. Oh, may as well grab that. Can't wait to give myself another mind-numbingly brain freeze trying to rationalize an item that I previously overlooked. There we go. Hello, buddy. Sir. Sir, thank you. Holy grease. Oh, well, nope. Oh, you know, chat. You know, my other thought was going to be like, or it could be an arterial leaf, but holy grease works too for the purposes of Altus. Yeah, it wasn't just the Xavier area. We checked around, so it's like some part of the sanctuary too, and I think maybe some parts in Langdale proper. It's been a while back, so I have to go check the screenshots or look back at that VOD. But then we have the normal trees, you know, the normal Erdtree trees that we typically see, right? Yeah, stuff here too. And above the entrance, the outer wall. Okay, yeah, so it's also there. Yeah, okay. Different from bushes. There we go. Nice. Nice. Okay, so these are all just basically like bushes that are kind of like the trees, but you know, actually foliated and smaller. That's gonna kill me. That's gonna be a Loki moment. I just know it. Ah, whatever. I don't have anything to live for. Well, now you know it's a Loki stream, everybody. Check back here. This poor tree has been trying to survive ever since Grand Sax first crashed in. He's like, nope, I am going to make it out of here. I am not gonna be dead. Respect. Trying his best to survive against Mother Nature. Maybe the trees in the lower quarter that are around the church. Not that low in the lower quarter. Thank God there's a ladder here. Deep tree lore. Yep, always deep tree lore. What do you know? The game about a giant golden tree has deep tree lore. Who would have thunk? Now we have, you know, actually like just plain old burn trees and stuff here, right? So some of these trees just weren't coming back. Gotta do that because we're inevitably gonna have an Ancient Dragon War thesis, and I'm probably gonna want to bring this up and talk about how all this damage and destruction to the lower quarter was caused by Grand Sax. Jeez, can you give it a little bit more soil there, huh? The peasants live here. We don't need to rebuild. Oh, indubitably. Is Grand Sax head even propped up and every time I look at it with the normal camera, it seems to be just petrified in place and touches nothing on the gate wall? Yeah, I think it is. I think it is just kind of just, you know, like, hanging up there. Like, he, like, kind of just died, got his head, like, locked, like, kind of cricked his neck or something, and it's been basically stuck there ever since. Okay, no, it's all normal trees and then the bushes. Oh no, we do have one of these. We have some of the red ones. My favorite little mistake. Doubling up on the bushes and you pick the gold one instead of the green one where it's... You gotta love that. Then we got more of the red ones over here. Yeah. Yeah, it's all normal trees here, unfortunately. Well, normal for, like, Altus. Unfortunate. And then, let's just do a quick look over here. It's not like this is part of, like, general Altus, right? Like, I haven't been missing these trees that belong. Nope, okay. It's all pretty standard. That's another thing. Ancient Civ ruins are in the DLC, right? So, we might get some more stuff on the Ancient Civ. That'll be another cool thing. Again, obviously, I'm more interested in the Vanished Knight connections and stuff. But, like, Ancient Civ connections tying into that would be a cool, nice little extra thing, you know? You know? Wouldn't be too bad if they sort of all got wrapped up together in one nice package. I wonder if they are trees that have been selectively bred for decor. That's what I would assume, hence why we can see them at Stormvale and Morton Castle too. I would have to assume that they're like a very specific species that have been bred. And again, just the fact that we find one of those species at Leyndell is useful to know, because it'll help me clarify in my Fringe Folk Rebellion thesis. Yeah, I'm not seeing these anywhere. It's all the standard trees, and then like there's a smaller version which I think might use the same stuff. I already have a shot of that indoors and stuff, right? Yeah, something similar going on, but that's about it. I think like the trees that we see at Stormvale. We also see more of these things here, I recall, right? In like the gameplay trailer, I think there was like one in the background or something, so that's gonna be cool. Is the hood statue near the room bear holding anything? No, it's just the typical same statue, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the blue flower field, So that's cool. I forgot! They automatically kill you if you leave from me! Okay, actually true. True, it wouldn't be a Loki stream if I didn't fall to my death in hilarious fashion. Yeah, you gotta get the, Pastor, you gotta bring the troll at Stormvale all the way over to break that one. Basically, kill everything else on that road, including the Omen, then lure the troll over. Just kite him. Yeah, his arms are broken, so they don't have the sword in them. But yeah, it's the same statue that we see elsewhere. Okay, we're good here, we're good here, we're good there, we're good there. Then let's take another look at the guys at Stormvale. One last little quinky-dink comparison. Because now I remember that when I look at the trees, at least most of the non-defoliated ones, it was definitely looking a little bit closer to this than the white wood that we were seeing for the bark. Yeah, these gotta have more white on them. Oh no, but this is the standard. What about this one? That looks similar to the white bark to me. Not like 100%, but I think closer. Okay. Good to know. Okay. Actually, that statue might have fallen from the bridge, because the runes inside the statue indicate which civilization built the bridge. I don't think they fell from the bridge, Night Scout. I'm pretty sure the idea is like what we find with the other statues. They're just kind of sticking out of the ground because they're remnants of some past civilization that probably built the statues once upon a time, and people just keep, you know, building or, you know, moving around them. They don't touch them, so they just leave them there, broken and half buried in the dirt. That's always been my understanding. Yeah, like this is the statue that goes to here. This is the statue that goes to here. And then the others are all just simply present. So there is no missing statues. So yeah, it doesn't go to all the way over here. So that's covered. Alright, so anything else that I might want to put for this? Now we have the shot of the Langdale Knight in the graveyard and stuff. That's nothing too crazy. I do love this road I've set up for the astrologer stuff. I'm gonna keep that here probably on this character because it makes it very easy for me to reference. Oh, you know what? I'll check the water here. Okay, good idea for land. Yeah, once again, we have trees more or less avoiding. These are pretty flooded in here, though, so... It does look like still, compared to Liurnia, at least. Again, it could just be because, again, they put them on the edges closer to the landmass, so they count as serious exceptions, but... I am still going to take a shot of this. Though I prefer to do it when it's not raining and cloudy, so let's see if we can fix that. I see, we were talking earlier about like using day and night cycle and stuff. I feel like I'm the person who uses day and night cycle the most just to get the perfect shot for me. And ironically enough, it's so for me to get daytime shots, not nighttime shots. Give me a good look at that day. Wow, that's the bluest sky I've ever seen. For this game, that's crazy. Alright, we're gonna use high, we're gonna use high LOD here. You know, this oh, actually. You know what, never mind. These actually lessen the water than I thought. It's mostly just these two. Still, it might still make the point, so I'm going to include them here. At least for future reference. There. Is there a body here I don't remember, chat? Why the hell is there a campsite here? Like, the hell? Am I crazy? Ah, there's the body. It just wasn't loading. Okay. Alright, there's the body. I was feeling like I was going crazy for a second there. I was like, what? It loads just like a random little campfire thing, and that's like basically it? What? Okay, game just having an aneurysm and not loading stuff because I wasn't close enough. Alright. Also, the camera feels so much nicer now that we're out of Lane Dell, right? Oh no, yeah. I don't think I'm pretty sure that PvP fights between the enemy NPCs is set up so that way they don't do much damage to each other, right? Or is that only like if you're far away from them they don't do much damage? Either way, I'm pretty sure Runebear is gonna win. God, let's get out of here before good old Kenneth Haidt has a speech to tell me. I want to hear his spiel. It's been a while since I've seen watch them fight. Well, I'm sure next time you play the game you'll be able to. Maybe when the DLC's out. Alright, chat, I think that's everything. I can't think of anything else that I really want to grab. I'm pretty much done with the stuff I want to get to, so I'd like to finish getting that update up and running and be done for the day, so. Some have lower damage on both sides, some have it lowered only for one. Ah, I see. Anyway, I think we're gonna end it here then. Nice. Alright. Thanks guys for showing up. You gave me a really good laugh today. Like, again, always appreciate having you guys around and stuff. Again, I don't know what you guys get out of it besides watching me be an idiot in this game, but you know what? Maybe I'm just good as a butt of a joke. So if that helps, at least I appreciate that. Again, links are in the description. I noticed a lot of people joined the Discord lately when I made a tweet about it. So again, for those that don't know, or if you want to join the server and take part in the Elden Ring discussions with everybody else that have been in the chat here and others, so just so you know, social interaction. I know it's crazy. Anyway, but yeah, so that's a thing. Again, DLC's coming. I'm looking forward to playing it, but with how things are going, there's other stuff I also want to do in the lead up to the DLC, like the Honkai Star Rail 2.3 update that's happening like literally like 2 days before the DLC. So oh boy, that's gonna be a stressful time. But whatever, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'm looking forward to probably playing more Elden Ring and stuff as we get closer to the DLC's release date. So yeah, until then, later, fellas. Bye bye.